Alright everybody, welcome back to another Crimson Desert video. Welcome back to the channel. This is Early Marisol. We're gonna look at patch 3, technically, alright? This is game version 1.0.0.3, which is technically patch 3 since release. Actually, I think they patched the game twice prior to release, but that's another story. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna look at patch notes. I want to note specifically if they've done anything to performance, because then I'm gonna run a benchmark check. But before I look at this, I'm gonna show you guys my optimized, if you can even call that optimized, settings for best looks and best frames, I guess. It's not really optimized, alright? It's just what I found to work best for my system to actually get the best looks for the game. But it still has issues. There's still shadow flicker, there are still lighting issues, still some lighting dimming randomly, shadows are still black AF in certain places. This game has issues, man, they need to fix them. So, this is what I'm currently running with, alright? I got 70 to 80 FPS depending where I am. Okay, I got 72, I want to say this looking to me like a 71 average, but I do have frame gen on and balanced DLSS 4.0. Now specifically 4.0, because this and this have not been implemented correctly into the game from what I'm understanding. I'm gonna reapply my settings real quick if you don't mind. Now, I do have VSync off, I have reflex on, ray reconstruction on, frame gen, and balanced DLSS 4.0 in 1440p. Okay, I gotta be specific here, because 180p is different, alright? Now, I need to do this for 1440p because that's my native, okay? Whatever is your native, you're probably gonna have to either lower the visuals or make them higher, but probably lower them. If you're going for 4K, that is. Now, cinematic and lighting quality to max. Okay, I pretty much maxed the game out, essentially. Alright? And this is required to be on quality for anything to actually look good and to reduce shadow flicker, lighting issues, shimmering and such. You gotta be on at least quality. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and as you can see, it's already tanked some of my FPS, and my GPU MS has increased considerably, I believe, but I need to check. Okay, it's not considerably, but it has gone up by about 4 to 5 MS. Alright, I'm gonna stick to quality for now, and I want to just run around a little bit, okay? Now, keep in mind, video might not be showing everything entirely correct due to YouTube rendering, which I believe is VP9 encoding. So that literally makes everything that I have currently on screen look much, much worse. Though I want to say I am noticing some weird blur. I don't think I have any sort of blur on currently. Okay, I have night mode on. By the way, I suggest you put night mode on. It makes the volume better overall, in my opinion. Also, these are my volume settings in case you're wondering. Some sound effects are just too loud. I lowered them. It is what it is. This is my current speed for mouse and controller. I'm playing on controller for the most part. We will be going through the patch notes, which does in fact list some quality of life stuff for mouse and keyboard. Specifically some shortcuts. And then blur is 0, depth of field is off. Interesting. There's gotta be some native TAA. This has to be some native TAA going on, because my vision looking a little blurry in the background. Even here. So I'm gonna do this so I can show you with my mouse. Even here, this looks a little blurry, but here it looks like I have depth of field on a little bit, even though I do not. It's weird. So I specifically turned off depth of field and blur because I hate blur in my games. It's really bad usually. And as you can see, if the game already has native TAA, which might be the case for Crimson Desert as well, because this game kind of feels like it's built on Unreal Engine 5, even though it's Pearl Abyss's own proprietary engine. I'm sorry if I butchered the word yeah. Proprietary, yes. Because I believe this is just an updated version of, I almost said Baldur's Gate. I'm sorry, Black Desert Online's engine. They just kind of slapped a 2.0 on top. But yeah, the game looks great overall. However, what the fuck is that? Are those dragons or just giant birds? There is a complaint that I have, okay? I'm somebody that has made a fuckload of reshades across the last couple of years, so I guess I'm technically an artist, an environmental artist, and I kind of like graphics and such, if you will. Okay, I'm not listen, I'm not officially, okay? But what is going on? I'm sorry, are you seeing my face? What is this dislocation? Alright, pause. Okay. What is this? Why is my face being dislocated there and why is it there? So I think and now somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is related to, well, what most people would call parallax. But are those birds? Aren't they a little big? Considering how far they are? I'm gonna have to check at some point. Anyway, I think that's related to what we normally call parallax, which I believe in this game, it's not normal parallax. It's some dislocation going on. Okay, I'm a little far away, so I can't really show you what I mean. But if we head into a town, do I want to run into a town right now? Let me see where the nearest town is. I don't. Can you teleport in this game? Somebody let me know. Oh, you can. Fair enough. I was unaware. You can apparently teleport to Abyss Crescent, whatever the fuck that is. Okay, I'm not that far into the game just yet. I am right now in chapter... Is this 3? 4? I forgot. I just beat the horny fella. And I got his sword. Where is the town, man? I'm having a rough time finding the town. Okay, I'm gonna go there. I need to find a fence, okay? We need to find a stone fence. Oh, this is the first time I use the teleport. Also, you might have noticed I am dropping frames. Woo! Game froze. Alright. Yeah, this is frozen. Alright, while this unfreezes, I want to show you guys a little something. I just unlocked the new character recently. Also, can we talk about this? What the fuck is this lighting? Pearl Abyss? What is this? This is not how light works, man. What is this? It's just a mess. Visual mess is what I like to call it. And then I had some issues with the disguise. Apparently, you need to have the exact full set required for the disguise to work. You can see this fella about to hit me in the back of the head. Probably because I had the Visione and the bow equipped. I also required the hat, apparently, for the priest. The Saint Halcyus priest, because I was doing the main story quest. If you can even call this a main story, by the way. Can I just say how much this story sucks currently? Also, NPC interactions are kinda meh. I got stuck on the roof. Are we still stuck? We are stuck. My game might be proper frozen. I might have to reboot. Yeah, this crashed. I think this crashed. Oh. Yeah, this crashed. Failure. Alright. That's the first time I actually crashed like that, by the way. I have encountered some issues on my laptop, and again, if you have issues like the game blue screen of that thing or something in the middle of a loading screen or something, and then just resets your PC entirely, know that it's an issue related to overlays. So if you have any sort of overlays, including Steam overlay, Discord overlay, MSI Afterburner, Riva Tuner, any other sort of overlay, you want to turn those off, including the NVIDIA overlay, okay, from the NVIDIA app. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. I think it's in settings. Yeah, so turn this shit off. Okay, if you have this on, it will cause issues with the game, apparently. And, then you want to make sure your graphics have not been reset or set to something which is totally absurd. In my laptop's case, my graphics were set to cinematic and 4K. My laptop cannot handle 1440p, but they put it to 4K for some freaking reason. Alright, back to this. I was stuck on a roof because of the sliding mechanic. Pearl Abyss, you need to address this, okay? So I was, because of the sliding mechanic they have, the physics does not entirely work this way, by the way. When I slid here, I got stuck. I couldn't move outside of this specific area for a good 5 minutes or so. I had to spam jump button and it was a struggle, okay? And then, because this is a long-ass loading screen, I'm gonna show you what I mean by... I unlocked the new character. What is this, man? What is this? What is this face? What is this face, man? This is fixing. What is this face? Tell me they don't look the same. Tell me these two don't look the same. That was the funniest shit when I've unlocked that. Alright, back to map. Can we actually teleport? I wanna show you guys what I mean by the parallax thingy. The dislocation happening. Let's hope we don't crash again. Oh. Something twitchy. Alright, no crash this time. That's good. So, can I find me a rocky fence? That is the biggest question of them all. Is there any rocky fence here? Kinda. Also, can we talk? Why does this require so much stamina? It's literally just gliding, man. I hate it when they do this in games. Why oh why do we have a stamina bar attached to our gliders? It makes absolutely no sense to me why they do this in games. Okay. Okay, this is good. Okay, I'm gonna first person this, and I believe if we go at a certain angle here... Oh, yep. Okay, you're seeing some displacement and stuff going on. It's even getting deleted, alright? Pay attention to the corner. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna have to... It's a little weird to show. Maybe my angle is incorrect. Maybe I gotta go a little lower and then... Oh. There we go. Alright, it's not entirely visible correctly, but... What is that? What is this? Okay, that's not parallax, by the way. Parallax does not act that way. It's getting deleted. It's fading. And then I'm pretty sure I've noticed dislocations. Also, what is this texture? Hello? What is going on there? It's like they slapped multiple of the same texture. I'm sorry, is my tree twitching? Yes, it is. What is this? I just now noticed. What is this? There is some twitching going on. It's attempting to fade, but something from the engine is not allowing it. But whatever level of detail it has on top of the textures, it's attempting to fade, and it's twitching at the same time because the game's not allowing it. Anyway, there are issues, especially when it comes to LODs. If you don't know what LODs are, that's level of detail, okay? And that's usually what you see far away in the distance. So for example, tree LODs. I think those might actually be 2D billboards, but I could be wrong. This is fine, but there are certain cases, like I've had with the Abyss Nexus, where certain LODs legit do not load. I could have sworn somewhere on the map over here there was like a mill. I need to find the mill. Give me a sec. Okay, the Springtide Mill. We're gonna go there. Okay, I need to show you guys what I mean. Also, can we talk about the horse riding? The horse riding. Why is this so abysmal? Like, I gotta... Also, the horse literally always spawns behind you. Like, legit, literally always spawns behind you out of thin air. And it gets the nature... leaves effect. Okay, for some reason you gotta mash the button to frickin' sprint with the horse, which is cringe as fuck. But it is a thing. I hope they fix it at some point. One button press is enough. One button press to run, a second button press to sprint. Make it a toggle so we don't have to spam buttons. I don't know why. Listen, they have a lot of questionable decisions in this game for some reason. I don't know why they did a lot of these decisions, but they're really bad. So, I know this house specifically, which is the mill, I believe. Yes? We need to approach it from a further away angle, and then you're gonna see... Oh, NPC pop in. Why you moaning, though? Alright. So, I think... Yup, there we go. Okay, can we talk about that? I am not that far away. Why is the LOD missing? My level of detail bad. I have no details there. Can we talk? What is that? What the fuck is that? Alright. I'm pretty sure I can zoom in with OBS. It's gonna be a little second, but... Wait. No, that's not it. Yep. Alright, can we talk about that? What the fuck is that, man? That's ugly. Ew. Also the castle. Notice the castle here. There's missing LOD. Okay, now it's gonna take me a little bit to adjust my screen back. So you're gonna have to excuse that, but... Alright, so... As you might have seen until now, this game still has issues that need to be addressed. And these are not even half of them, okay? Now, because I'm on quality, you're not seeing a lot of the shimmering and a lot of the lighting issues. Because I'm on quality DLSS, but if I go to balanced, you might notice some. I'm not gonna do that, I'm gonna stick to this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna enter the menu, which by the way still needs to be addressed. Okay, we're going to others, because for some fucking reason, others is the menu which holds the other menu, which holds your other menus. Earl Abyss, what the fuck were you thinking? This. There's finally an exit button, is what I've noticed. You can finally exit game. Correctly. To desktop, I believe, but let's check after I figure out. By the way, always save, and make sure you do save, you know, after you've done something, because sometimes the game does not save correctly, or at all. And you just crash or something, and your save gets corrupted. So just have a backup save. Always. Alright? Now, apparently the photo mode is still in beta. I've not checked the photo mode until just now, so let me check. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, thanks, photo mode. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Ew. Brother, ew. What the fuck is that? What is this? Do we even have 240 pixels here? Is everything 7 pixels? What the fuck? I'm like right here, and my camera's right here. Why is this so low resolution? What the fuck? It's like the game is not loading the stuff in. Listen, I'm on a decent fast SSD, okay? This is cringe. Actually. Alright, I'm gonna get out of photo mode because my eyes hurt. Now let's go check out. Give me a second to figure out the menus again. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna switch to mouse and keyboard. I need to see. So we're gonna go specifically to Steam section of the patch notes, and we will be looking for buttons, because apparently they gave us some buttons for mouse and keyboard. I'm not playing on mouse and keyboard, so this is fucking useless to me, because this is the type of game you usually play with a controller. But we have I for inventory. Okay, so I works, confirmed. K for skills, confirmed. J for journal. R. M for map. Thank you, Pearl Abyss. This should have been in the game prior to release. Why is this 3 patches late? The fuck? Anyway. Alright, so that's confirmed, at least. I need to pause the game because I don't want the time to pass too much. Actually, I'm gonna quit the game because there's no point in being here further. Why is this a hold, by the way? Every action is a fucking hold. Talking to NPCs requires a button press, at least on controller. I haven't checked on mouse and keyboard, but you need to press, or to hold rather, LB, and then press X. Why? Also, why is X hold to grab stuff off the ground, and why is it not an insta action, by the way? Why is it a hold? And why is X to jump? We need access to rebinding our controller inputs, man. Now, they fixed a lot of stuff, apparently. A lot of stuff that I literally don't care about. If you care about all of this, fair, but I don't. So I'm just gonna kind of read through this, share what I think. So they fixed an issue in Chapter 2 quest Reunion, where the cat would sometimes stop leading the way. I have experienced this, and when the cat stopped moving, that was apparently my bad, because I was supposed to be behind the cat. Apparently. Anyway, apparently that is now fixed. Hopefully that's no longer an issue. I will probably check at some point on a new playthrough. Improved Chapter 4 quest, Mysterious Pot. I don't remember what chapter I'm on currently, but right now... can I even check? I just quit the game, it's fine. By making the symbol stop briefly when it reaches the correct position while repairing the ancient generator. Okay, I'm not there yet. There. I was just kind of running around exploring stuff. Fixed an issue in Turnali's request. I don't think I've been there yet, so this is literally useless to me. Improve notification to appear when crime status. Prohibit the quest from progressing. Don't care. Content. Added more base nexuses across the continent of Pywell to improve fast travel via teleportation. Don't care. It's the type of game where you literally should not be fast traveling all that much. This is fucking useless. I don't know who complained about this being a thing and why they wanted more fast travels, but I guess they don't want to waste their time playing the game. Added the private storage that can be used to store items from your inventory. The private storage is located at the initial temporary lodgings in Hernand. Okay, this is good. However, it's still bad, and I'm gonna tell you why. We need player storage, private storage, even at the bank. If you have housing and such, listen, private storage needs to be accessible from more than one location, okay? You need to be able to access this from more than one location. This is cringe. It needs more QOL. Reduce time required to acquire knowledge. Yes, it's good. I have noticed the improvement. But it's still bad. Why do we have to wait? Is my question. Why? Why is the intentional wait there? I understand the waiting for... let's see now. Prior to using the Visione, when you need to hold the button to see the pseudo cutscene kinda, I understand that. But why, oh why do I have to keep holding the button to read a page from a bounty? Why do I have to hold the button to acquire the knowledge and such? Just make it a single button press, man. What is this nonsense? Stop. Changed skill observation to be only required once to learn before being able to use it. Okay, this is good. But the annoying thing I have found is that the fucking skill observation pop-up shows up in the middle of a fight because I have apparently learned a new skill, which I don't mind, by the way, but why the fuck is it stopping my fight? Don't make them in the middle of a fight. Put them at the end of the fight. I don't need the input while I'm fighting. I'm not gonna... While I am the type of person to experiment with something new, I am still getting stopped in the middle of a fight, which I am kinda losing the flow of, okay? This game has a very kinda specific flow to the fights. I don't know if you've seen my other video. I have a fight here. I'm gonna go to the fight right now. I don't know if you've seen the fights, but the fights have a very specific flow to them. Okay? I'm gonna hop on this fight right now. Okay? That was my first fight. They have a specific flow to them. It's kind of a back and forth. It's not really Elden Ring type of fighting. It's more active. It's more active than Elden Ring to me. And it's heavier than Elden Ring to me. It feels like you're getting punished more too. And you might have noticed just now the NPC actively blocking. It's actively blocking and parrying you and countering, okay? Now, this was my first fight in the game. I literally wasn't aware of whatever the fuck I was doing just yet. And this was my first attempt at using the dual-wielding playstyle. Because I just kind of found some extra weapons and I was like, yeah, why not? But yeah, the fight has a certain flow to it, which other games do not have. It feels meaty, okay? And you kind of just need to be in the zone, if you know what I mean. You need to be focused. If you're gonna distract me with a fucking skill prompt in the middle of the fight, I'm gonna get upset. But they do this every fight when you learn a new skill, is what I found out. Which is rather annoying. I'd rather have the skill pop up and the tutorial for it, if you will, skill guide, show that to me at the end of the fight instead of in the middle of the fucking fight. It's very, very annoying that it pops up in the middle of the fight and stops the fight completely. Just don't show it to me until I've finished the fight, man. And then, I need to check this. Adjusted when Force Palm is learned to allow players to use it much earlier in the game. This is useless to anybody that has already started the game. This is fucking useless. Why? Why? What is the point of this? What is the point of this? I'm pretty sure acquiring Force Palm was literally at the start of the game in the first puzzle. So when the fuck did you make us learn it this time? This was fine. Do we just unlock Force Palm by default when we start our character or our save now? Or when the fuck did you put this earlier? Hello? Anyway, I'm pretty sure Force Palm was literally in the first quest of the game. Reduce the number of hits required to log trees. I don't care about this right now. I think it required a single pickaxe hit on a rock to break it, which I'm assuming it didn't take more than 3 for a tree. And then if you get, because I haven't cut a single tree just yet. I've just literally figured out how the fuck to use the pickaxe. So if you need 3 for a tree and then 3 to break the tree into logs, and then yeah, I can see it being annoying. So if you reduce this, great. It should be more, or rather, it should be less than 2, not more. Less than 2. Where is the tree? I kind of accidentally clicked off of the thing. Okay, change logging so that trees are chopped with basic swings without aiming first. Fair enough. That was actually a complaint I had initially. So thank God that's fixed. Decrease the QTE difficulty in the arm wrestling minigame. I think the QTE difficulty was fine. Depends on what they think about QTE difficulty. What I don't like in the QTE in the arm wrestling minigame is the fact that the QTE just shows up out of nowhere without the game warning you first that there's gonna be a QTE in the first place. So in my first arm wrestling, I botched the first 2 QTEs because I was not even aware we would have QTEs there. So if anything, that was the thing that needed to be addressed. So just tell players there's gonna be QTE in this minigame. Be aware. Be prepared. Now I know, because I've been hit by multiple, but nowhere has there been stated that there would be QTEs in this game when I bought it, by the way. I hate QTEs in my game. If anything, we need... Here's what we need for QTEs. We need to be able to toggle them to be auto or to turn them off entirely. Okay, not everybody enjoys or likes having QTEs in their games. I, for one, I hate them. I don't like them. Okay? They're extra for no reason. They're making me stressed sometimes too. I hate it. Improved the visibility of items that can provide knowledge by adding icons and tooltips that show the total number of knowledge acquired. I am... Okay, why did we click off of that? I am unaware of what this actually does. I'm not gonna lie. I have not noticed anything when it comes to this. And I've played about 5 hours on top of the new patch. Changed ore veins and collectibles to be discovered automatically when you are within a certain proximity. Sure. Improved Skybridge Lightman devices, don't care about that, I'm not there yet. Improved the visibility of Skybridge, don't care, I'm not there yet. Improved the visibility of the circuit board attached to Axiom Force. Show its lines while being moved. Well, if the thing in the first puzzles were circuit boards, then sure. I guess that's an improvement. The first puzzle was kind of bad. First puzzle they ever teach you, or show you rather, or have you make, or finish. You know, the one where you have to force palm the big rock in the middle. That was kind of bad. Improved camera movement when aiming a bow at a brazier and adjusted the range for lighting arrows accordingly. This is good. I felt like that was bad initially. Like, I literally put my arm in the brazier and my fucking arrow did not lit up, okay? Also, pro tip, if you put your arrows in poison, you will get poison arrows. Yes. Also, if you shoot with your arrow, make sure you get your arrow back. Because you can do that. You can also shoot your arrow in the poison and get a poison arrow that way. Or in the fire and get a... Actually, I think it just burns your arrow. I haven't tested it. Anyway, I've just been messing around with stuff. I haven't progressed in the game whatsoever. I am literally just now getting my... Actually, I just got my camp. I got the girl, and that's pretty much all I did. I did the priest quest, and that was it. Added an indestructible brazier in front of the Lion Crest watchtower. Is this the first... I think this is the first quest where they teach you how to light your arrows on fire with the brazier. So if you broke that and you needed the fire... Yeah, okay, that's good QOL. Fucking hell, Steam. That's good QOL. Here's the thing. This is good QOL because if you break that, then you literally cannot progress further with the questline. So you have to go find a way to light up your arrow. Yeah, this is good. That one should be indestructible. Improved the trading post UI to display... Okay, I don't care about this right now. Maybe later. But right now this is useless to me. I know a lot of people have no-lifed like 90 hours in this game already. The game literally just released a few days ago, and they have 90 hours. I guess it's their job to play the game. Because otherwise I cannot explain. Anyway. Added effects for destroying facilities at enemy strongholds. Sure. sure, don't care about this. Improve the visual of certain puzzles for clarity, that's always good, always nice. Increased health restored by ingredients, that's always good, always nice. Increase the lantern's range for detecting clues. Not always good, always nice actually, because if the range is narrower, then you know you're closer. But now you're just gonna be wandering around, trying to figure out where the fuck the clues are. Anyway, I guess... depends on how you see it. I see it as a debuff instead of a buff to the lantern. Anyway. Reduced stamina consumption for Nature's Grasp. Sure, that's always good, I guess. Fixed an issue where pets would fail to loot items. Your pet can loot items? Wait, you can have a pet? Okay. Good thing, I guess. Changed certain items in the witch... I almost said Witcher. In the witch's shop. There's a witch in here? Okay. Change the properties of bismuth ore and how it is gathered. Fair enough. Okay, fixes are always nice. Lowered the difficulty of the marksmanship and archery contest. No, this is bad. Why lower difficulty, man? Don't lower difficulty. Lowering difficulty in your game is bad. Your game was fine. Fixed an issue where the Abyss Cell's electric field would not disappear. Okay. Improve the visibility of the part that needs to be grabbed with Axiom Force on the Sky Bridge, Lightning device. I think this was one of the complaints I had on that part. Kinda bad. I actually think a lot of people had issues with this. I didn't have many issues with that, but a lot of people had. Changed Visione to be automatically equipped and play after reading memory fragments with the lantern. I'm pretty sure that's not a thing for me just yet. What? This did not happen to me. I have played 5 hours post-patch and I still had to manually equip the... Actually, I didn't have to manually equip the Visione. What I had to do was press the button to start the memory, which that in itself should be automatic. Not just equipping. So it equips the Visione automatically, yes, but playing the memory after you've seen the memory, playing the thing with the Visione should be automatic. Like, why have a button press if that's important to anything at that point in time? Especially when it's part of a quest. Like, just have it on auto, man. Fixed an issue in the ethereal pathway. I don't know what that is. Players could not observe Force Palm if they did not step on the Abyss Nexus. Okay, that's good, it's a fix. Fixed an issue where stamina was not consumed after a certain quest cutscene. Okay. Now this is where they stop with the content additions and fixes. Can we include Omega reduced stamina for the glider? Like, what is the fucking point of the glider if I am almost maxed out on the points for the glider specifically and the flying, and my stamina is just absolutely cringe. Like, I can't fly for more than like 5 seconds or glide. It's not even 5 seconds. If I actually try to fly, I'm gonna fall because it doesn't work. My stamina is getting drained immediately. That needs to be addressed. Like, there's literally no points to the glider as it is right now. At least not early into the game. Maybe later, maybe if I invest some more skill points in that specifically, and in stamina, but this shouldn't be a thing. The glider itself should maybe have, like, no stamina consumption, because... Why make it tedious, man? Why? Just let us fly, man. If you have something like this in your game, gliders should not take stamina, first of all. Like, this is a complaint I have in all of the games that have gliders. All World, Enshrouded, any other game that has gliders. Your stamina should not be consumed while gliding. Okay, that's bad, in my opinion. That is a QOL for what I need. That is a QOL which requires a mod, in my case, because most games do not address that. So I'm gonna need a mod, but if I mod my game... Officially, because I still don't know Pearl Abyss's stance on mods, but the EULA basically says that you break EULA if you make any sort of modifications to the game. So I'm still... I don't know if I want to use mods just yet. So I'm kind of just waiting. But there needs to be more. This was too little for this patch, if you ask me. Now, they have addressed some controls, and I know for a fact you cannot change keybinds on controller just yet. So mouse and keyboard is still the play, for the most part, but this is the sort of game you would normally play with a controller. So, yeah. Do with this information what you will, but they've done nothing related to the controller. Okay? Most of this is for mouse and keyboard and UI stuff. So we have improvements to response speed of interaction UI, improve the responsiveness of jump inputs apparently, fixed aiming to target the center of the screen when using a lantern while unarmed, improve the equipment quick slot so that reselecting your current equipment will stow it. Improve the responsiveness of the main menu UI, fixed an intermittent issue where the main menu would not open. Yes, I care for this one. I've had a lot of issues where I literally could not switch between the menus in the menu. Because for some goddamn inexplicable reason, we have 300 million menus in the menu instead of a proper menu. Anyway. Keyboard mouse, improve the responsiveness of character movement controls. Maybe? I haven't... No, I don't know. I don't know if this feels good. Let me know how you feel about keyboard and mouse. Me personally, this is the type of game that I play with a controller. So I'm not gonna care much about this, but I know a lot of people play with mouse and keyboard, specifically because controller sucks balls. So, Pearl Abyss, maybe, you know, throw some love to the controller because your controls are abysmal. Why is X jump instead of A? Anyway, a lot of controls need to be changed on controller. Like, nothing makes sense. Listen, let me see if I can figure out where my screenshot for the controller controls is, for the Xbox. And then I'm gonna relay what I think are some better controls. Let me find the thing first. Okay, so here's what I think we could do better, okay? Notice how lock-on is on D-pad down. Why oh why in the fuck would you do that? First of all, this needs to be on LB. No, excuse me. Lock-on needs to be on R press. Force palm is cringe here. Why is that here? This is camera movement. Why is force palm the press for that? That should be lock-on, okay? Force palm, put it on Y or on X. Okay, put it on X, since we're gonna be removing the jump and we're gonna put it instead of the sprint and the run button. Jump goes to A, which makes more sense, okay? You know what? Let's make it better. Okay, we're gonna go edit. Going with the marker. This is cringe. Lock on there. Okay? This? No. Okay, let me do it in another way. Let's see. It's R press, okay? Instead. Force palm? Let's make it X, okay? It's gonna be a little bad, but anyway, force palm, put it on X. Lock on, put it on right stick press. Sprint run. This to me is it. The controls, there are too many buttons, and I literally don't know what to do with this. So normally I would put this on L press, okay? That's my normal button. Now, if you really want to do crouch with something, make it a toggle, and then put it on... let me do this in another way. Okay, now I'm gonna butcher this, but... Okay? Put it here. Put the darn thing here. On D-pad down, alright? Why is crouch slide on that? I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, running to me makes more sense than crouching with that button. Sprinting even. The character should be running default if you move this all the way. Okay? Make it a little more intuitive. Put this all the way. Okay? And if you put this to like half, your character only walks. Okay? This makes more sense to me. Okay? This is bad. What the fuck is this? No. This... actually, no. This is good. This is fine. This is fine. My bad. My bad. This is fine. This, however, I have a problem with this. Why is this button to interact with NPCs? Every time I interact with NPCs with LB, to reveal the fucking X, which is the interaction button, I have to... I'm literally always pulling out my lantern or guarding. It just looks weird. Why am I always raising my lantern to an NPC? Makes no sense. Just have the prompt for NPCs just show up, you know? And then make it A. The prompt to interact should be A. Since we're switching fourth palm to X, that makes more sense. There's not even an interact button here being shown, by the way. I just realized. Change camera. No, I'm just gonna... That's cringe. What the fuck is that button? This should be the button for the map. Okay? Let me do this. No. Map. Okay? Because this makes more sense. Alright? Changed camera should be LB press. Okay? Let me do it like this. Map. That button. Change camera. This and this. Okay? And I'm gonna share with you why I think this is the play. You should be holding LB. So LB plus R up, down. Okay? And that's not for change camera. That's for zoom, motherfucker. You should be able to zoom in, zoom out. Okay? Now, these are just a few of the controls that I would change to make this feel better. Because as it stands, the fucking controls are atrocious. This jump should be on, let's see, A. Because A makes more sense than X to jump. Unless your controller has these two buttons reversed, it makes no fucking sense. Alright? B to roll evade is fine. Call mount is fine. These are fine. These are fine. This is completely fine. Okay? This is fine. These two, I guess, are fine. They're a little annoying to get used to, especially when you have to hold RT and RB at the same time to do the special thing. Special move. It's annoying to get used to, but it's fine. Alright? The main issues are force palm being here instead of lock on. Okay? Whoops. This should be here. This should be here. Run sprint, I already said what I think about it. This should be the play. Okay? Stealth makes more, or crouch and slide makes more sense to me that it's D-pad down, because I'm not gonna use that often, if you know what I mean. And then the rest of the controls are kind of fine, I guess. I don't care much about them, but this is also fine. Now, what I don't know what to do about is Axiom Force. Okay? And I guess if we have Force Palm on a hold on X, then we could have Axiom Force on an X press. Or just make Force Palm an X press. We could just have LB plus X hold be the focused version of Force Palm. Which does make sense, actually. Yeah. RB with Force Palm hold should be the focus. Okay, anyway, this makes a lot more sense to me than what the fuck this is by default. Okay? And then, yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna save this as a copy. This makes more sense to me. Whenever the hell they decide to give us access to changing our controller inputs, this is probably what I'm gonna be going with. So I'm gonna just save this. Alright, those were the controls. Now we have both boss fights and combat, and from what I've seen, they've nerfed some stuff. My opinion, bad. Don't nerf anything. Reduce the health and attack of specific enemies and bosses. I don't think that's good. That, I guess, it's making the game more casual, but your game was fine. Reduce stamina consumption for blocking attacks. That's fine, actually. Lower the difficulty of the ambush encounters triggered while heading toward the Reed Devil boss stage. I don't know how to feel about that. I am not there yet. In any case, lowering difficulty, in my book, is usually a bad play. Difficulty is usually fine in games. If anything, hitboxes need to be tuned in most games and in most scenarios. Hitboxes, how fast the NPC attacks, how hard they hit. If it's really overtuned, just lower their damage a little bit, I guess. But if it's making sense story-wise, or you know, if it makes sense for that NPC to be overtuned, then leave it overtuned. Adjusted certain attack patterns for Kirash the Slayer. I have not gotten to that point yet, so I don't know how to feel about that. Increase the accumulation of the stun gauge on bosses upon a successful parry. Sure. I actually don't know how to feel about this. I feel like parrying a boss should not count towards their stun gauge, actually. I know Sekiro does this too, but I really feel like parrying should not count towards the boss's stun gauge. Like when you parry their move. I really feel like that should not count. I know it's making it a lot harder if it doesn't count, but I really feel like them hitting you and you parrying the move should not count too much towards their stun gauge, at least. If not at all, at least not too much. But they're increasing the accumulation. This is gonna make the fights a lot easier, actually. Which I don't particularly like, I guess. That said, I'm a Souls enjoyer, so it is what it is. Changed boss weakness effects to display even if the player has not acquired a specific knowledge. That's bad. Why? No, have them... No. Why? This makes more sense. This is more immersive. Have us have... You know... Have us get the knowledge to display the weakness. Why change it? What? Who the fuck complained about that? You gotta be stupid to be complaining about this. What? Anyway. Fixed an issue where comrades remained when entering a boss fight. I'm confused. So you had multiple NPCs with you in the boss fight? Was the boss fight supposed to be a 1v1? I need more information on that. Fixed an issue where fire arrows fail to ignite enemies on hit. Okay. Fixed an issue where certain bosses ran away too frequently when hit under specific circumstances. Bosses run away? Why? Why is that a thing? No, have the bosses stand their ground. What the fuck? Fixed an issue where the blinding flash weakness was not being properly applied. Okay, that's always good. I don't think I've ever used that, but fair enough. I forgot the inputs for it because the controls are bad. NPC and NPC dialogue. I'm not gonna read this because NPC dialogue in this game is cringe as all hell. They gesticulate too much, they run around too much, they cry too much, they're whiny. They're just annoying to listen to. If anything, I wish they gave us a skip button to skip the dialogue entirely because I'd rather not listen to it. That's how bad the dialogue is in this game, in my opinion. Also, if we are on dialogue, can we please tone down how often NPCs repeat the same fucking dialogue over and over again? It's getting to the point where it's really annoying to just keep listening to the same dialogue lines every single time I meet an NPC. Also, I've noticed a lot of the NPCs are just copy-pasted everywhere. Especially the guards. They're literally the same exact face. In the same exact armor, or slight alterations of the armor, but the face is literally exactly the same. For the orcs, or whatever those are as well. A lot of the NPCs are just copy-pasted everywhere. They're not unique in any way, shape, or form. Okay? That's what I'm saying. A lot of them are literally the same exact model. It just may be slightly altered color. Which, I don't care for it. I'd rather have actual variety. UI fixes and improvements. Okay, first of all, please fix your goddamn menu. In fact, rework it entirely. Your menus are atrocious. They need to be changed. We do not require menus within menus within menus to access our menus, okay? I'm not even gonna read all that. The menus are still bad, the UI is still atrocious. Everything is still bad in that category. Graphics, the fixes are nice, but they need to rework it entirely. Graphic settings. Let's just say day 2 when I booted up the game, my graphic settings have reset entirely. So I think they fixed that. I think this was it. Fixed an issue where settings were not saving correctly after using the default option in the settings menu. I think I had the... No, I actually didn't have the default. No, I did actually default. I think I defaulted. And then day 2, my settings, even though I defaulted the prior day, my settings were reset to something else entirely, which make no sense. Fixed an issue where resolution and upscaling settings were not retained when restarting the game. Yep, there we go. That's one of the main things I had with the game. Some beef. It also switched back to full screen for some fucking reason, even though I'm playing in borderless windowed mode because I have a 3-screen setup, which the game should be recognizing by default, or at least maintain borderless if that's what I've chosen in the menu, in the settings. Fixed an issue where character equipment and cats were invisible on the minimum performance quality setting. Can we just talk about DLSS and the settings for DLSS? It's affecting a little bit too much. These settings specifically, for some reason, even remove certain stuff from the game, which is not ideal. Also, we need to talk about ray reconstruction. If you have ray reconstruction off, if you can actually run ray reconstruction, I recommend you turn it on, because that is one of the biggest impact in terms of visuals I've ever seen in any game. For some reason, it even affects NPCs loading and such. I don't know. Listen, this game is weird in a lot of cases. They have done a lot of questionable they have made a lot of questionable decisions, okay? A lot of questionable decisions. Now, they've fixed a lot of stuff in here. I don't really care about most of this. This is PlayStation, Xbox, don't care. I'm on PC. Awkward animation and such. Yeah. Letterboxing, don't care. I am actually in the camp which hates letterboxing. I hope for a setting which removes letterboxing entirely. They still haven't added sharpness slider, they still haven't added saturation slider, we still don't have a chromatic aberration toggle, we still don't have a lens flare toggle. There's still a lot of missing stuff in the game, okay? Performance and stability. When it comes to performance and stability on PC, I have not noticed anything whatsoever since patch 02. Okay, since last patch. Not this one. This is 03 since 02. Okay? I don't care about localization, I'm mostly playing in English anyway. Others fixed an issue where the death and loading sequences were delayed, improved horse behavior to approach the player after being called. No, my horse is literally just standing there, staring at nothing. I don't think this does anything, or has done anything at any point in time. Fixed an issue where the character would be pushed sideways when using force palm or stab while against the wall. I don't think I've ever encountered that, but fair. Fixed an issue where DualSense controller vibration failed to function. I am turning vibration off the first second I get into the game. That is useless to me. Anyway. Why are we refusing to give players access to rebinding controls on controller? The controller inputs are atrociously bad, man. Please fix. Anyway, this was my take on patch 03. Still a lot of missing QOL. Still a lot of issues that need to be addressed. Lighting is still bad. Shadows are still bad. There's a lot of flickering. There's a lot of shimmering still. DLSS still affects too much. Ray reconstruction is still the main thing you kind of need to turn on for this game to look good properly and for a lot of the issues to disappear. Anything below balanced DLSS is extremely bad. Don't do it. DLSS 4.5 and 4.5L are poorly implemented into the game still, so they need to address that. DLSS 4.0 seems to be the play. I have played this on a GTX 1650 laptop, and FSR 3.1 seems to be fine-ish. At least on my laptop, it seemed okay. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say, honestly. Listen, in terms of pure performance, nothing's changed. If you're waiting for that, you might want to wait a little longer. In my opinion, nothing has changed. Okay, overall, nothing has changed. There have been a lot of specific fixes and changes that a lot of people have not even encountered. The bugs or the issues they've been mentioning. Like me, for example. The vast majority of these I have not even encountered. So this patch is literally not doing anything for me. I'm not playing on mouse and keyboard, so this is fucking useless to me. Yeah. Even though I'm on PC, I still feel like this game is best played with a controller. However, again, the controller inputs are atrocious, Pearl Abyss. Please fix. Give us a way to fix them ourselves, at least. Okay. Alright, well, this was a lot of ranting, but if you enjoyed it, this was my take on patch notes for 1.0003. If you've enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, give me a comment for the algorithm. I'll see you in the next video.